to the channel, Coding at Home. My name is Matthew Lonsdale, and here we program games in the Unreal Engine. So, this is episode 5 of the building series. What I'm going to do, for everyone who's following along, it might have got a little bit confused, but I wanted to try and make it so if someone who just wanted a building system could kind of just have that and put that into their own, because they might have already had the inventory system and stuff like that. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go through the project which is on the Patreon and basically mimic it into the YouTube tutorial template that we're working on. Alright, so we're going to make everything identical. So it's going to, with our inventory system, add the building tab. We are going to make it so you can pick up your wood, use your wood to build your items and all that good stuff. Alright, so if you've just found this video and you don't know what we're talking about, then you need to subscribe, find my channel, go through, find series 1, episode 1, start from the beginning, follow along. It's a brilliant series, teaches you quite a lot of good stuff from the inventory system, and then we take the inventory system, we had a crafting system, and now we're adding the building system to place static meshes. All these static meshes here, I'll move that, whoa, not that, this, if I can move this out of the way. You see all these static meshes here, I give away all them as well in one of the episodes. Well, they weren't, I've made them just by putting one static mesh together, which I got off a Quixel bridge. I've got a video on that, of how to get that set up, and all the good stuff. So anyway, I'm going to shut up, and I'm going to get on with it. Alright. Camera's gone. Yeah, we're back. Right. So, here we go. Move that out the way. So, what I did say, what we were going to do is, the computer's a bit slow, it's just woken up, alright, but this, we're going to put all of this into here, so we have one blueprint doing everything, alright, because you don't want fucking blueprints for everything, because then you've got to caster this and caster that and caster that, and we want to make this project as dynamic as possible, so it's easier to put together a project or a game or something like that. Alright, so I think if I can just check where we were up to, hit play, and I do apologise, the computer is half asleep. Here we go. So we don't have it in the inventory system, we are just pressing numbers. No snap found. There is a snap. There is a snap. So, yep, we're pretty good on it. And I think we've gone as far as walls and stuff like that. So, oh yes, and the error. Right. This error is because of we switched over to another player controller. So what we'll do is we'll switch that back. Because that would be the easiest way to do it. So go world settings. Change this back to here. Hit a save all. It's going really slow. Yes, the computer could probably do with restarting. I never switch it off, that's a problem, I just put it to sleep. So in here, this will need refreshing. So if we refresh all nodes, and in the building component, I was trying to make this, I remember what I was doing now, I was trying to make this a player controller. I wasn't I? There will be a way to do it, but for right now, I mean, like I said, if you're building a game for yourself, it doesn't need to be super duper dynamic, because if you're going to have a building system, you're going to have it anyway. You just don't want to put everything in the player, because it's just a stupid way to do things, really. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, but you want everything to be separate and easily referenced, if that makes sense. So we will have some changes to do in here. So this was shift down. Like I said, you don't want to have to do this by moving the component around. I might actually try and figure out a way to do it so you don't have to. I can't even remember what that was. Was this shift down as well? Shift down. And we need to make that dynamic. Let's compile, see what else we've got. Okay, so off of here. Yeah. Right mouse button. Left mouse button. And drag him into there. Get rid of him. Get rid of him. Oh, come on. Drag him into there. Another one here. Right mouse button. Yeah, there needs to be a way that you can put a input into a controller so that, yeah, see, I near enough done it there, but see, for example, this one, just get player controller, and that will just go into there, so that reference doesn't need to be, because that just gets the control pawn, so that's fine. That one you can do. Don't need that, but this here, this variable, there's got to be a way to do it. I might have a little look quickly. Right mouse button. Yeah, there's got to be a way. Definitely. I'm convinced there is a way. Right mouse button. Like that. And you can tell I've probably slowed down in the pace a little bit. Oh, there can't be someone out the door. Shift down. I might have to check the door. Okay, we're back. Compile. Looks like we have a couple more. Yeah, this... I'm going to figure that out. And I will let you know. Right mouse button. Left mouse button. One more. Yeah, this is no good, this. No good at all. I do not like that. That needs to be different. That needs to be fixed. Can't be having that. Okay, so that's the references done there. This references is done there. BP pickup master. So we want to use R1s to do this, so we can scrap all that now. And we are going to want wooden wall, for example. Weapons will move out the way. We'll comment this. Please give it to me, give it to me, give it to me, yay. And this can be structures. Okay, so we've got wooden wall, that's second. So let's see it. So the snap type is in here, okay. So that can be put that way. We're going to need a couple more variables in here. So we're going to want snap size as well. Don't want that to be an enum, do you? You could use an enum. You could use a string. You could use an integer, a float. That can be anything you want, but we will put that into there. So let's do that. Item structure, new variable. We will go with a float, probably better. Yes, go with float, and we'll call this snap offset size. totally dyslexic fuck up. But we'll just ignore that. So hit a play, and hopefully we don't have to refresh everything. That can just be deleted now, to be honest. That was just an example. So that can go. Hit save all. Because that wasn't a hard delete, so that's fine. So one walls, these are 200 by default, because you might want to custom build these. That's up to you how you want to work that, but you're going to need to put that in dynamic somehow, alright, because you know you've got different things that you might want to string out. I have got some ideas in my game which I might do a devlog that I'm currently working on, and I'm using these components to build it, so I might give you a little insight to it. If you'd like that, leave a comment. Okay, building component can be compiled. Let's get this done here. Alright, so let's duplicate, rename to wooden foundation. Okay, and another one. We'll drag in first so we know what it's called. Wooden wall window. We need to be going into here. We need to make sure these are foundations. Okay. So there is going to be a little bit after this for the collision and stuff to all work. So let's see. In my other project, wooden foundation, I have nothing. Okay, so might be on something else there. That's fine. So that stays like that. Of course, make sure you change your snap type to foundation. That is all good. Wooden foundation, wooden wall foundation. By default, that's there. By default, that's there. So that's all good. Okay, next one. And my knee is already hurting. Wooden doorway. Doorway. In here. Doorway. And now I made two because I wasn't sure which one looked better. Doorway 0 fits better. Doorway 1 I was messing on. I was just trying different styles. Doorway 1 looks better, but I don't think it's quite right. But you know how to change that. So that is no sweat. Easy enough. Did we change this static mesh to window? No, we did not. So that's now done. Another one. Whoops. Wooden roof. Like so. In here. Roof. Custom wooden spike. Oh yes, right, so this one's going to be different. So this is custom wooden spike. Now I put 30 in the last video, but I think 35 is slightly better, just that little bit more. Yep. And this is spike. And I've got an H, SM spike fence. I think that's what it's called. You can always jump over to the viewport and go to class defaults. Custom wooden spike fence. You see that is not the one we want to use. Spike, large spike is the one we want to use. And now you can check that in the viewport. Yes. And now you can come back here, jump out, and we definitely have more items than that. So let's go to our enum. To be honest, you don't need to sit and watch me do all this, do you? You can do that. So enum type, I'll do one more, so you know what's going on. You come in here, and this is going to be wooden gable left. Hit save, come out of there, come to here, hit play, so it saves that change to the enum and compiles it, and then come to your BP master pickup, and then of course just add the next one, and this is going to be wooden gable left. I've got tiles in my eye from work. I had to do a little bit of a job this morning, so I just type in gable and it should give you, type in left. I've called it roof pitch left. Make sure you change the snap back to 200. Not that you'll ever use this for this item, because this will not be a custom build item, but it's just there because we will have different items. Everything else can stay the same, and you can then go through, do all the rest of the static meshes on your own. I'm sure you'll be able to do that, and we will continue on with this stuff in here. So on build, what we need to do is we need to transfer this information into here. Alright, so basically, instead of on event begin play, we're going to grab our graph here, copy it, go into BP master pickup in the event graph, and we're going to paste it in here. We're going to rename this to init, and we are now going to create the variables. So add inventory, instance editable exposed on spawn. Yes, you will need to do that just like the other one. Okay, so limited slots, create the variable, amount of slots, create the variable, widget class, create the variable, another one in there. Slot type, well that's already done. Limited slots will want to be exposed on spawn. Amount of slots exposed, which class exposed, slot type exposed, inventory component, compile that, add crafting, yes, tick, array of craft recipes, yes, definitely, expose that, expose on spawn, I think so. Craft type, create that variable, expose that, compile that into a variable, random spawn loot, yes, expose that, expose that, expose that. Or you could put this to a random one if you wanted. Set of items. Now, sorry, I've got shit in my eyes. This set of variables. Now, you can expose that on spawn, but you have to, it has to have an input. Alright, so as you see now, as we compile this and we go to our build component and see where we, where do we actually spawn something? Spawn temp actor. Okay, when we refresh this now, which in fact if we do it this way around, refresh all the nodes, you can see now this has got all the variables. Now if you put that slot, you have to drag something into it or this node will not compile. Alright, so that's something you need to know. So you can either set that by default or you're going to have a make set, and you're going to have to do that in here. Alright, so the way I recommend doing it is in your BP master and then in construction script, when we do another column and maybe put the storage box in and then give it one of these, set this, and then set this here, okay, and you'll want to make a set, and then I would set this in here. Alright, and the reason I would do that, so if this is a small random storage box, you can say, alright, this can have some wood, some food, some tin of beans, right? But if this is like a bigger box, then you can go, alright, this can have this, and a weapon and a knife, and you could find good loot, alright, in different boxes, and that's how I would do that. Alright. So for now, we'll just, whoa. Moving on. So we're going to carry on here, not in there, in here, event graph. So what we're going to do is get rid of them, and we're basically going to call this when it's built, because you don't want to call this while it's a blueprint structure. You want to call this when you've added all the wood and it's spawned into an actual like physical thing, right? Then you want to call the event because it's now usable. All right. So if that didn't make sense, it will in a second. Fucking auto save, right? Gonna have to do it. Not plugins, project settings. It might be project preferences actually. I think it is. Auto save. Yeah, it's in the preferences, isn't it? Right. So go away, edit our preferences. I've got a pet hate for it. Auto save off. Right. Fucking get out of my life. Save all. I'll save when I tell you to save. Alright. So, anyway, in the BP Master Pickup, on event begin play, we're going to do this. I think still. Let's check. So, on event begin play, we're still doing that, and then yes. Alright, so I've put the options in here anyway, so you can have it built on spawn. So what we're going to do is, right, we'll just follow along. Okay, get the static mesh, and I want you to promote this to a variable. Alright, because you're gonna have to destroy it and then spawn it again when you've added all the wood. Right? So the construction script will run again, because you're going to want it to run this and then set all the variables. Okay, so we're going to remember the static mesh, not the static mesh. Sorry, the material of the static mesh. Remember that one. Yes, so you want this one here, and you want to delete that static mesh, sorry, and you want to promote this to a variable. And this is going to be static mesh material. It looks close enough. And because what's going on is you're making it like a blue hollowed out version of the static mesh. So on event begin play, you need to like know what it is. Alright, so you're going to remember it. Then what you're going to do is you're going to ask it, is it built? Alright, now at this point, for the people who want to just place it and they don't want to use the blueprint, bring the resources to the item and add them like that, this is where you come. In fact, if you want to do that, you just don't have to do any more. However, for the ones who want to bring the resources to the blueprint, this is what you're going to do. So you're going to set the static mesh, and you're going to set the material like we did in the like the build mode, and we're going to set that to blue. Okay, and this is false. So if it's not built, you're going to set it to blue. Okay, and then you're going to set the static mesh, and you're going to set collision object type, right? Which gives you these ones. And now in the episode couple back, we set this in our project settings. So we're actually going to set this as a structure blueprint. Okay, and then I am calling a set requirements. Right, so come back into here. So this is the way it works. You now need to make a mini invisible inventory system for that item. Alright, so it's going to need quite a few. You're going to need 15 variables to do this. I don't think there was a better way to do it. I mean, I built it off the cuff. There might be a better way to do it. I'm not sure. But the way this is going to work is on event begin play, you're going to ask it, what was the craft recipe? And then you're going to say, all right, it was wood, stone, and then none, and none for the 5 requirements, right? So you're going to have to now remember, you're going to have to say, right, so set the variable. So it requires, requirement 1 is wood, and requirement 2 is stone. You also need to remember how much wood and how much stone. So you're going to need 2 variables for each requirement to do that. So you're going to have to do something that looks like this. Alright, so we're going to zoom in. So you're going to get the craft recipe. We're going to set requirement 1 and then the amount. And requirement 2 and then the amount needed. Okay, so once we have that information, we can then, you're going to need a 3rd variable to how much wood has been currently added to it. So it's like a mini inventory inside of it just for variables. And what we'll do is we'll make a little widget that pops up in the bottom left corner of the screen to show you what's required, what's been added, and then when them numbers are filled, spawn the item and call build. Okay, and then run init, which will initiate all the structures. Alright, what you probably could have done to save time was spawn the blueprint structure, but that means just having another fucking variable, and then in the player it's got a line trace to 2 different types of things, which means it's more work, especially on a tick. So this is the better practice to do it this way around and keep everything into one blueprint. Alright, and then just change the information. Yes, it's going to have a lot of information in it, but that's it. It just knows what it's doing. And then when you come to save and load the game, it's a lot easier, because you just say you're going to one actor and you just say, right, remember every variable in this actor and then load every variable in this actor. You haven't got to fucking go through all the different types of stuff. Alright, remembering the same variable for every actor. It's just daft. Alright, so anyway, here we go. Add a function. Set requirements. Something like that. The ball lake is coming. Right, so where is the craft info? Not saying it. Why have we not got craft info? Do we need to create the variable? Crafting. Array of, yes, craft recipes. Am I just being blind? Item info. I thought that item would have had it. Does it not? Apparently not. So, new variable, craft info. That is a craft recipe. Okay, editable, exposed. Grab it, break it, And you are now going to have to, I'll probably speed this up, so drag off, I'll do the first one with you, promote the variable, attach it, next one, promote the variable, next one, promote a variable. It's great how you don't have to type these. Yes, keep going. Okay, so we've got that set up. We're going to click continue, and they're all going to be in down here now. So we can now call that event here, like so. Compile, save. Now then, that is the end of that string, but we do have another custom event called build item. Now, in this event is where we're going to set build to true, and we are going to now set the material of the static mesh to the material that we remembered, which is here. Okay, that's why we need to remember it. So this material, you don't have to hard set that. And then we want to set the collision enabled to world static, or oops, set collision object type to building. We'll put it to world static for now because I don't think that will be set up yet. And then we will call init. And of course all these variables will be set in the construction script or as we build them. Alright, so the construction script is in here. Well, there's probably a million ways to set that. Why am I looking in here? Why is it not? Can I? Thank you. So you can either set it in the, well, there's loads of ways you could do this. I don't think I've actually placed a campfire or crafting table yet, so I haven't done it yet. So we'll probably do that at the end, and then we'll figure out which is the best way to do it. It's probably going to be in here. We'll add to this structure, and then we can set, alright, so crafting table, you will have an inventory, you will do this, and you will do this. Alright, that's probably how it'll be done. Okay, so master structure, you will still be referenced. So let's see, BP player, event graph. So we now don't need this. We will, this variable can go, because we see how we've got a variable for this and a variable for that. We don't want that. Can open storage, and you'll want to save this, but we will do it differently now. I've asked for delete twice now. Right. Definitely pressing the button. Wow. So either my keyboard's broken. No, cancel. It's definitely working. Oh. It's working now. We'll keep this though. Well, delete it, but we will use that still. So now we can cast. Are we looking at an item? And of course, this is only going to run when build mode's not activated. So this won't run if we're in build mode. I'm going to do that now. So in here, while we're here, let's do a little bit of work. So, in fact, we don't need to do any work in here because, you will. Just come in here and do a branch and get structure. Okay, and then if structure is true, we will do something different. If it's false, it's clearly a pickup item. This is going to fail, well, it should have failed because of onInteract. Because interact, where are you? This is looking for storage. Alright, can open storage. This variable will not need this. We'll delete this variable as well. And we'll put can pickup item. If that's not true, come down here. It must be a structure. And then we will run a script to, open the inventory or something like that. So we'll come back to that. Let's keep going over here. Actually, this is the building component. Where was we? BP player. I suppose we could be... Yes, that'll do for now and there. Okay, so let's see. We'll go for a delete on this now. And it's referenced a few things. Still referenced in there. And in the map, we clearly have a structure. So we'll clean... We'll clean up that. We will clean up that. Which is still in use because it's in here. So you'll need to reconnect that. You can delete that one. It'll be referenced in here. Which that'll be gone now. That'll be gone now. Disconnect. Try save all now. Oh, master structure can go. We've done everything we need to do in there. Don't need you anymore. Right, we're still referenced in the PC player. Components shouldn't be referenced in here. Check over inventories to close. No. Let me just find it. Where is the reference? We don't need them anymore. They can go. There's definitely no reference there, like. Right, well, we'll force delete it, and then we'll try and compile the PC player, and it'll tell us what it is. So let's give that a second. I'm probably going to cut the video here and go into a new episode. I'm just going to do one long recording, and then we'll do that. So you might see a cut, and I might just end the video randomly. I don't know yet, because I'm not watching the clock on this. It's been 40 minutes. So right, so that has compiled without any issues. We can still play, so there isn't a problem. So let's see, what else have we got? We've got the inventory system to do, but as far as cleanup goes, we are pretty close. We haven't done the rest of the items yet, but that's fine. This is fine. This is done. That's pretty good. Let's have a look over here. Yes, that's good. Close all this out. So what we'll do is we'll get it into the inventory system. So we're pretty much going to go into the inventory widget, and in here we're going to add basically a third button. So duplicate that, rename it button underscore build. Oh my god. Button underscore build tab. Widget switcher, we'll need a third box, and this is going to be build box, and here again this can be build slots, and these inventory slots, did I make a new slot for this? I might have done actually. Oh my god, this is running really slow today, this computer. Build slot, yeah, I did. It doesn't matter because, well, yeah, we'll get rid of these. Compile it, and let's see, craft slot. Just duplicate the craft slot. Build slot. Like so. Open that up. All we need in here is a name and an icon. And what I did was I just took the size box and I doubled the size of it, just to give some sort of different look. Compile, save, graph. Let's get rid of that for a minute. On mouse button down, right mouse button. This can be left mouse, left mouse button. If it's false, it's handled. We don't want to know if it's craftable, and we don't want to add the options. What we want to do is have the build component variable. Okay. So build component, and then of course bring this in, is valid. Sort my knee out. My knee is playing up because of the way I sit in this chair. So if this is true, right, you need to then basically call build change the actual variable type to build component. Do that again. Is valid. And then if it is valid, you're going to need a branch here, but basically we're going to call build and custom build. Okay, the craft info, which we will pump into here, just get the name. The craft info, I think what I've done is I've added custom at the bottom of this. So let's see, build slot. I think that's what I did. I added, is it a custom build or is it not a custom build? And we've basically got a branch in here, and if it is, do a custom build. If it's false, do that. And then if this is like so, let's see the graph, mouse, functions, mouse, on mouse button down, custom, yes, and this needs the crafting info. Okay, so this build component, you can now plug this in here, like so, and then take this out, take that out, because obviously we were doing it in a different way for everyone to follow along, and now you can go to your original way. Alright, so that's set up like that, and custom build wants to be the same. So clear that one, get rid of them, break that, plug name in, hide the unconnected pins to make it look super duper tidy, open that up, plug that like that, craft and info, goes in, drag that down, and super duper clean and tidy. Right, so yes, there's problems there because of this now. So craft info, craft info, craft info, here again, craft info. Oh. Yep. Craft info. All done. File, refresh all nodes. It's always good to do that. And then we can jump out of here. And then instead of breaking that, you can simply just plug in and plug in. Duplicate this back here. You will still need to break this because we need a way of knowing if this is what type of build item it is. There's probably a million ways to do it, but we'll put it in here. So we'll compile that, and for some reason we are not on the main. Get up there, main guy. So let's compile blueprints, structure, craft recipe, new variable, boolean, custom. Save that out, close that, hit save, compile, do all that sort of stuff, come back in here. Now you can drag custom up into there and then hide all them, so you've got something that looks like that. Alright, tidy that up, don't leave that like that, that looks a mess. Back over here now, compile. So in here now, do we need to do anything? I do believe we do. Yes, let me see. Inventory widget. You will have to add to our interface. So let's go over there to hit the interface. New function. This can just be update build slots, and this will need some input. Okay, so you need an array of build items. Now you can obviously do a research tab as well and then add to the build items as you go, or add recipes or scripts or schematics or whatever, and then add to this array. Alright, dynamically in game. So that's good to know. But this is an array of craft recipes. That is array. And you will also need the inventory component needs to be in here apparently. Why? Let me just look why it needs the inventory component. I think it's to close it. So when you actually go to build something, it automatically closes the inventory, so you can then build. That's why. That's the only reason why it needs the inventory component, which is a little bit silly, but it's just more information. Well, it's either that or the player or something, because you press build and then you'd have to press tab, or you'd have to press I on the keyboard, or whatever key you've mapped, to then hide the inventory to then play the game, which is not good flow for the player. So you don't want to be doing that. So we will give it the inventory component reference to do that. Make sure that is not an array, and then we're going to go into this one, and we want the building component. Put component there as well, so you know what's what. And this is a building component. My back's playing up. Okay, so they're all set. Compile, save. and this slot. Let me see here. What's going on? Mouse button down. Update. Yes, update needs to be in there. And it's there. So on this button is clicked, not that. You need to go now. Inventory is valid, obviously. If it's true, continue on and continue into an open and close inventory like that. Okay, so it'll close the inventory and then it'll put you into build mode. Okay, so that's how that needs to look. That, pick. Alright, so that is that. Now then, we want the function. Oh my god, there's all this stuff in here as well. Right, well, you won't need any of this. So, fuck all that off. Come to update, see if we can just work off of here. So, craft info, promote to a variable. I'm setting the inventory component to that variable on update. Okay, that might be okay. Do we have a begin play? No. Okay, so do it on update. So leave that like that. That stays the same. Don't need any of this. Hide that. Set the name, set the icon. That's done. I think we're all good for there. That's all good. So what else have we got now? So let's hit a save all. And update is done, build component is done, that's done. So we need now the interface. So let's go into here and we need now to move this down. Build slot, class defaults, class settings, no interfaces, add widget interface. Actually, does this doesn't need the interface, does it? No, this doesn't need the interface because it can be done through here. So interfaces, update build slots, implement this event. Let's put it at the bottom anyway. So right, so in here, what have we got? So we have yes, so I'm actually doing it like that. Okay then. So build slots. Clear them, obviously. That's always first. So we're going to clear the slots. Now we have a for each loop. Like this. Tidy that up. And then for each one of these, create widget, build slot, like so, and this needs to be exposed on spawn. This is in your build slot. Come back over to here, refresh, inventory, we want build component. Right, well that's not been changed, so come back into here. This needs to be exposed on spawn like that. Crafting can go. You don't need a crafting component. For some reason that was referenced somewhere, but I don't think it was. There's no hidden graph here. No, that can stay unhooked for now. Back in the inventory, compile, crafting component, refresh this, connect up your build components like so, and we now want to do the usual, build slots, add child to wrap box, Okay, and then we can call update the function. The craft item info will be of here, craft item info. Somehow. Yes. So, yeah, the way I did this is come into your build slot again and expose this. Alright, so we're just setting it as a variable. Oh, now it's not happy. Why not? Nothing wrong with that. So it wants me to do it again. Craft recipe, yes. Promote a variable then. Might be a local, don't know. That'll do. Like you said, if something's not working, we'll figure it out. But I'm just copying my other project now for you guys to have. So inventory. So now this refresh. Fuck me. Alright, so I've got... Oh, that's why. Sorry, I didn't notice that. So we had two variables there. Right, so expose that on spawn. And then that can be hooked into there. Is it happy yet? No, because this one, I didn't realize I had two going on there. So my apologies. You'll have to connect this back up. Compile and save. Can we please? Thank you. Now this can now be punched in. And now you need the craft item info again. Craft info here. Punched into here. Inventory. Which is on update. So I've given it to this. So update doesn't actually need the inventory. It already has a reference to it. So I don't know why I'm setting that in there as well. It's already got it. Like that. That's fine. That'll work. This can be compiled. This can be compiled. Set a save all. Save often. On complete. So we now need to call that event. So, what calls this event? It will be the inventory component, I'm assuming, because that deals with the inventory. So let's check that over here. Content, blueprint, inventory component, inventory setup. It's not in there. Let's just check the widget setup. It's not in there. Someone must call the event. Update slots. Did I put it in there? Update craft slots. Update all slots. Let me just see. Someone calls it. Player controller, maybe. Let's see. Is it on the end of here? Yeah. Okay, so in our player controller, the end of here, we've set in the build component, and the build component, calling it, which we haven't made. That'll be why. So build component, building component, event graph. Okay, so that's where we're doing it. So on begin play of the building component, you are going to want the inventory, which we do not have yet. Inventory inventory component. Like so. So grab him, get the ref, and then call update build slots, and obviously is valid. If that is valid, we have the array of build items, the inventory component, and self. Okay, I think we might be working here. So you now need to, this is where you set your builds. So let's set the foundation. Have I not done the icons in this one? No. Okay, so unfortunately I haven't done the icons. Where was we build component? But we have done the foundation, and we want wood, which we have not added wood yet. So let's just add, obviously put what you want in here, but for the testing purposes we want an apple, and we want 1 apple, and for a foundation we'll make it 2 just to see it work. And then of course another item, we will do wooden wall. This will require 1 apple, and if you just duplicate and change it to window or something like so, so we've got 3 members in there. I don't think we're far off from this working. Crafting. Okay, so a couple of things to do. In the inventory, designer, this is the building tab, change that to build, and then go to graph, go to here on clicked, copy this, set this to the active widget to the building box. See where we're at. Build, so we have nothing. So update build items is either not ran, or so inventory ref update build slot to them. So let's see what's going on here. Clear children for each loop of the 3 items that we've just put in. Do that, add to that, call update. So the craft info is coming off of there, that's coming off of there. So someone is not valid, someone is not happy. Build component, do we need to call anything in here? We need to call init. Yes, I've put that on begin play, haven't I? Right, you don't want to put that on begin play because it'll not happen quick enough. So you need to call, have a custom event and call init, and you want to initiate this in your own time, which is at begin play, but after other variables have been set. So now you can call init here, like so, compile, save, play, inventory, build, still nothing. Init. Okay, so that is probably not valid. This is why you need to put your print strings in. I know what the problem is, but just to prove a point, print string is going to be inventory ref not valid. and I can bet you any money that's what's going to say here. Inventory ref not valid. And that is because in the player controller you need to set inventory component here, and you want to set it before the initiation, and you just want to set it to our inventory component like so, and now that will work. Alright, obviously there's no icons on the other one I have, so mouse button down on a wooden foundation, yes, place it, build it. Obviously in the other videos we said it was built straight away, so it's correcting itself. So if we went to build component here and ran through our build script, snap building, find the category, find the snap, find the transform, spawn the temp reactor. Excuse me, I suffer from heartburn really bad, that's why I've got a bad esophagus. Here, so set built to false by default, and you will need to do that for the custom. That needs to be a thing, but there was definitely something to go there. I'm sure I will remember soon. Custom build. Where's the spawn? Temp actors. Left mouse button is true. Oh yes, that is up here. So have we not got a placement? Can we not place the custom build? So let's come out of here, let's go to our building component, our array, duplicate and change it to custom wooden spike, hit play, build this one, right, that has not been set as a custom item. So in our BP master pickup, in the construction script, where we've got this wooden spike, not here, in the build component, that last recipe, is that a custom build? Yes. So did we not have any left mouse button action? Yes, we does. So what was the yes, we can build it. So what is the situation with that? So spawn the temp reactors. Let me just see here. Why? Oh, I see. Yes. So what we're doing is we're just not destroying the array of temporary builds. Well, you will want to do that now. But before you do that... so what was happening, if you did it this way around, it kind of crashed the engine. Or, well, it did. It crashed the engine every time when I was doing this. So what you want to do here is you want to get your array of temporary builds, and then you want to spawn you want to do a for each loop. That's what you want to do. You want to do a for each loop in here, and then spawn actor from class. And now I've fucking lost him behind there. Right. On this completion, then remove all the temp reactors. But here, you'll need to, you can pull off of this, and then you can get actor transform, plonk that into there, master, pick up, so you can then set this information like so. You will need the enum type pick, and then you could say, well, they'll all stay defaults. Do you need to change anything in here? Real crossway? No, that's fine. And then destroy them. Okay. So it would work like that. Okay, and then click. So that would do that, and now it's obviously correcting itself. So that's the same as the normal placement method. Okay, so where else are we? We are now placing structures. So what we want is the inventory system for said structure in the BP master pickup. Okay, building. So requirement finished. Oh, this bit's rough. So in here, you are going to need to duplicate this and put current amount. Change this. Yeah, just put it there. Requirement 1, current amount. You need to duplicate that. Requirement 2, current amount. Duplicate that. 3, duplicate that. 4, duplicate that. 5. Okay, so now we have set the requirements. We need a, do I have a like an add item function, or yeah, add items. Yeah, check build complete. So add items, let's see this. Jesus. Okay. Function add items to build, and basically I've got a reference to the inventory component because you'll need to remove items. Okay, so in here have an input in inventory component, inventory, promote this to a local variable called local underscore inventory. Okay, so you're going to have to now do this 5 times as well. So requirement is equal to none if, okay, so it's basically if this is equal to none, print string here because this is a fault. So you'll have you have set no requirements for build item. Okay, so that's a fault there. If this is false, you're going to need 5 more variables. These are going to be booleans. So this is going to be requirement 1 finished. Okay, just set that to true here, but obviously this would be a fault, not as much as if, but you'll have to set this, otherwise you'll just get problems. Okay, so we're then going to ask is requirement 1 finished? Yes or no? So have you put all the requirements for 1 in? If that is not finished, I have a collapsed node, which is always a ball ache. So we're going to uncollapse it, or expand node. Oh god, it's messy. Okay, just drag this out here so we can see what's going on. Let's do that. So I might have had to add an event or a function to the inventory component here by the looks of it, because I don't remember that component being in here. Right. So if this is not finished, we need to try and add stuff. So if we get our local inventory, can we search for empty slot? Say I haven't done it. Alright, so we're going to have to add a function to it. And so if you come over to the inventory component, new function, this is going to be search for item by name. Let's open this up quick. It's pretty straightforward. You're going to get the array of slots. You're going to do it for each loop. You'll need the name that you're looking for. So if you just come off of here, break, and get the slot or enum type. Enum type is the one you want. Plug that into there. If I'm going too fast, I'm sorry. Just trying to get this done. You do not need anything else from that. Okay, so we're basically asking, we're going to input a name or item type, I should say. So we're going to input an item type. We're looking through our array to see if we've got an equal type. If we've got an equal type, we want to promote the slot to a local variable, and this is going to be local underscore index, or we could put slot index true. And you want to then, I know sometimes I put that on this side of the branch, but it doesn't matter. And then you want to set a boolean, so you can just drag off of here, promote that to a local variable, and just go found item, prefix that with underscore L, or L underscore I should say. Okay, if it's false, continue running until you fail, and then return here, and return with your slot index, and this for a branch. Okay, done. Out of here now, and now we'll come back to our master pickup build component. Where was we just then? I cannot remember. Oh yes, so master pickup. So we are going to now call that search for item by name, if this is false. So the item name we are looking for is requirement 1. And we're now going to ask if this is true. So do we have this in our inventory? If we do, yes, so I've asked the current amount, so I've done that a bit wrong. I probably could have done that better, and I am going to do it better. So if this is true, or if this is false, just print here, so you know, and then you're going to say, right, just append this, because you'll need to bring this up, or maybe have some sort of widget to let the player know. So you're going to get requirement 1, toString, and you're just going to have none. Would have none, stone have none, right? So now you know there's a fault. Okay, and then this is going to run into the next check. So if you have none of that, have you got requirement 2? And rinse and repeat. So we should be able to do a copy and paste in a minute. But for now, we want to basically check, have we got it? Yes. If we have got it, I have asked requirement 1 current amount is less than required needed. You don't need to do that. Yeah, if this is true, I've done a secondary check in there, which is probably unnecessary. You can maybe put something in here if you wanted, but all you want to do, if this is true, you want to ask is, oh no, you will need to do that. Yes, so is requirement 1 amount equal to the required current amount? So you will need to do something in here. Yes, if this is true, you want to basically, if this can't be that, this needs to be a less than. Yes. And you want to know, is this less than this? Okay, that's what you want. Is that less than that? If this is false, you have finished this item. So there's a problem here. All right, so we'll have to put something here. But if this is true, I want you to increment this number and then remove amount from slot. The slot index is this one, and the amount to remove is just 1. We'll just do 1 at a time. And then move this out of the way. Then ask again here, are they equal now? If they are equal, set requirement 1 to finished, and then you will have to do a check build complete function. So you're going to have to do another function here, and we're going to say check build complete, and this has got a return and a boolean. Success. Okay, and then if that is true, you're going to then call build item. Okay, sweet. Now then, what have we got going on? And then you basically need to run that 5 times, and you need to check, you need to change your requirement to requirement 2 current and amount, and there, and you need to change that, so you're going to need 5 of them. 2, 3, 4, 5 like that. Okay, so let's write this function. Basically, this is if this and this and this, and this, and this is successful. Okay, that's all you need to do here. Bosh, compile, now head back, refresh all nodes. You silly fuck, there. Now you will need to break out of this in a few places. So let's see. So if this is not less than, check to see if it's equals, because there might have been a fuck up, because code will do that to you. And is, if they're not equals and they're not less than, print string here, and you have in error over added in master add item function, and if build complete is false, which it will be, what would you do on this? Well, you're not really going to go past. You're only going to come into here if this is not finished. So if this is finished, I'm getting a phone call. Pause here. Right, we're back. Sorry about that. Where was we? So yes. So if this requirement is successful, at this point, you would also want to go into the next graph. All right. So at them 2 points, yeah, I suppose that's all good there, really. That'll take you there. So it's just that one. But I suppose the only way down in here is if that's not finished. So then you're going to do this. If you don't have any, that's fine. Move on to the next one. If you do have any, do that, do that, do that. And then if that's false, yeah, you finish. And then you call the event again. So that's actually a return, essentially. So that's done. Yes. So basically, you now want to run all that again up here, and you need to go with false, and then of course if requirement 2 is equal to none, which could be that, which wouldn't be a problem, that means you only needed one item to craft it, you just need to put that is finished, ticked. Alright, and then run this. Okay, check to see if everything's built, and of course remember you want to change this, and you want to change these. So requirement to current and requirement to amount. You have to do that twice. In fact, we're not going to do that over and over and over again. So that can go into there, and that can go into there, and this one you will have to do though, like so. That one needs to be a requirement 2 finished. Requirement 2 there, like so, like so, and like so. I'm not going to do all 5 of them. You can, you will. If you want, I will do one more. So you are definitely ready. So it is a case of all of that another time, because we have up to 5. So that is true, or it's been false, and you've added that item. You then need to this could go into here as well, but if requirement 2 is none, then requirement 3 and 4 and 5 are likely to also be none. So you're going off the assuming that you haven't made a mistake in coding it, and this comes into here now. So requirement 2 is finished. So you then need to come into requirement 3, like so. Remember to change that to requirement 3, this to requirement 3, here to requirement 3, and the two variables here to requirement 3, which I might not have. So amount is this one, current amount is this one. Did I not change them down here? So current amount and 3 amount. Okay, that's 3, and this one, you set that one to true. And see this branch here, yes, you will need to connect this up. So yeah, if you have none, because you might have item number 2 but not item number 1, so you want to put item number 2 and you don't have to build them in order. If you want to build them in order, don't connect that. If you doesn't matter what order you add the items or the requirements, then connect this up to here like that. Alright, so bang bang, so it's off of this branch for the requirement finished. And if you don't have the slot, go to the next requirement, and then on requirement 5 you will just do nothing, because you will check to see if it's built, and then if it's not, then there's an item that you don't have. Alright, but that's as far as I need to go with that. Like I said, grab the whole thing, copy and paste it into there, connect from this branch and this print string, and make sure you're changing all your variables. Alright, and then I would collapse them into nodes and bring that graph right back down and simplify that. Okay, so that's as far as we need to go there. So I need to change my position. My back is killing. This chair is fucked. It is a proper thingy chair, but it was a cheap one. So moving on to the next part, which is going to be in the BP player. So come out of here, go to the event graph. If it's a structure, you can now ask get built. Is it a built structure? Okay, if it is a built structure, this is where you would ask to demolish it and do stuff. If it is not a built structure, call add item to build. Obviously I'm pulling off of here now. If it's not built, the inventory is PC player get inventory component, like so. But we want to display, we want to see what's going on here. So I think I've put in let me see here, structure true, build mode no. Is it built? We don't need to do that because that's different. Add inventory is true. Open it up for interact. Yeah, so at this point, this is where you would open the campfire's inventory or storage box inventory here. Alright. If it's not built yet, which is what we're up to, we want to set the component, because this will just add item immediately, because we actually want to do this on interact. So drag, we don't want to call this here. We want to set this variable, and then we want to fuck that off. we want to basically duplicate this, and this is going to be show HUD display looking at build item. Okay, so this has been done differently as well because I thought it was a bit shit. So get rid of that. We're going to create a widget now. Just a very, very basic one. You can spend time on it if you want, but we just want to see what's going on here. So this is going to be craft item build recipe. I want basically a canvas panel. No, we want a size box. Drag that in, override the width to 400 something. Put this to the side on screen so you can see what's going on. 300 is probably enough. And then in here, panel, horizontal, common text, and then another text. So this text will say namer, right? Well, it's namer. So text box name. That needs to be a variable. This needs to be text box amount. This is going to be something like that. Fill and snap to the right. Fill and snap to the left. Okay, so it looks like that. Wrap that in a border. Something like that. Give it some tint. Something like that. Compile, save. This needs to be a variable as well, otherwise they'll all show up. Requirement 1. Yes, this is going to have to be name 1, and this is going to have to be amount 1, and then duplicate. Oh, you slag. You could just make that and then dynamically add that 5 times. So if requirement thing and then add, yes. So in the other one I've done it a different way, and then if it's value to none, then I've hidden it, or I've collapsed it. So there's 2 ways to do that. You can add that 5 times, or you can duplicate it. Why is this not working? Honestly, Control W. I'm fucking pressing it, man. This keyboard is on its way out. Control V, C. Oh, I do apologize. I am being thick. So you need to wrap this in a vertical box. Now I do look like flipper. Vertical box. I do apologize. Duplicate. I'm just a little bit tired, I think. So name 2. Name 3. 2. Sorry. Duplicate. Rename. Requirement 3. Name 3. Requirement 3. And you get it, right? I'm sure you can figure out what's going on here. So just compile that for now. Let's go back to our BP player. Or is it, yes, BP player. So we're now going to, oops. Widgets, craft item build recipes is what I'm doing, and then this variable you can just promote this or yeah no, just add it here and just call this on screen HUD display text or something like that. It doesn't matter, and just make it a user widget variable. Alright, and then promote that to that. That will hook in there, and then you can ask that, is this valid? Okay. Look at item name. Well, we'll put this in the bottom left hand corner just to look a little bit better. So we'll go to HUD and we'll just get a vertical box. Is this not panel? Yes, vertical box. Drag that in. Not on the border. I want it on the canvas panel. We'll attach that to the bottom left hand corner. Yes, in that, one in that. Position 50 to bring it away. Position -50 just so it's out the corner. Size it to content. Compile, save. If you want to preview that, you can go to user created and add that in there so you can see what's going to happen. Compile, clear it obviously. We could do that dynamically, that's up to you. BP player. So we did not name that vertical box, so we need to pop back over here. Vertical box. This is going to be craft item box. That needs to be a variable. So if you come back over to your BP player, and then you can get your craft item box. Add child content. This is the content, like so. If this is valid, remove it from parent and then add it again. Alright, I've got a little battery on the camera, and that is what's going on there. So now oops, did this not need compiler? Okay, there, compile. So if we see what we've got here, build foundation, so my line trace is not hitting that obviously. So in the BP player, let's go to our line trace and add the structure blueprint, build, and we'll fix the something's going on there. So let's have a quick look. BP master pickup, no, possibly. Well, let's first of all start with the line trace. So let's run that for a frame and see if that's hitting the box to start with. Build one. Is that hitting it? Yes, so we are hitting it. I bet we haven't even just this is what I do. It's my worst habit. So I'll fucking write all the code and then just not connect it up and just pre-test it before actually doing it. So looking at build item. Yes. Don't need that text in there. Okay, so that's fine. Craft that. This is going to need some information, obviously. So we need so just drag him in, drag this in, delete this. So we need to get the craft info and the current build item No, that's stupid. Okay, so in the build item recipes in here, you're going to need a variable for the master or the current build item, and this is a master pickup. Expose that, compile, go back to your BP player, refresh this. Current build item needs to be this current build item. Go back again to your event graph and connect this up. Now in here, in here, in here, in here, and then in here, event construct, we're going to get this, get the craft info, and then you're going to have to break this, and then you're basically going to do, there's a bit of ball ache here, so what you need to do is if is this equals to none, and of course this will need to be done for all 5, but this is going to be slightly different. So this is equals to none. What you want to do is get requirement 1 box and set to set the visibility to collapsed. Okay, so set it to collapsed. That's what you want to do. If it's not, then you want to get the text box amount, and you're going to have to set the text here, set text, right, like this, and then you're going to have to format this text, format this text, and you're going to want the required or require amount like this, which is going to be so you're going to want the required amount, curly brackets this, and curly brackets required amount, which is going to be this amount, right? You're also going to need to put a space, that space, and you're going to want the have amount. You want to curly brackets that as well, and the have amount is going to come off of the current build item, and then you can get current have amount from there. All right. And you might want to actually, this is, oh god, my leg is killing. This required amount, this, you don't need to update this, because this is basically going to update every frame because of the tick. Alright, so that could end up being a little bit heavy, but you're not constantly looking at it throughout the game. So it's only going to be when you're looking at an item, and it's only going to be for one widget. And it's only getting some variables which are hard information. So I wouldn't worry about this too much, refreshing every frame, to be honest. But that's basically the setup. And of course, you'll also want to set the name. So if you want, you can get the current text box name 1, and then you can set text from text, and then you can go off of the name. You'll have to string, enum to string, and then from string to text. So that'll go into there, and then you basically just want to repeat that 5 times. So requirement 2 will come out of here. I'll move this down so you can see what's going on. You'll need the requirement to amount going into here. So if this is equals to none, you want to come off of here and check requirement number 2, and then after this you also want to come into check requirement number 2. You will need to change this box to box requirement 2, and text amount, change that to number 2. Text name, change that to number 2. Okay. And that name can come, yeah, you're gonna have to drag, sorry, that's the item name, so this name comes out with here as well, so this can be rerouted from here into here, like so. Sorry about that. So yes, so the requirement is also the name. You don't want the name of the item, you want the name of the requirement. Alright, so we'll do one more so you can see it all again. So from here into the branch, and from here into the branch, get requirement 3, drag this all the way into here, which will do this and that. And then you want to go requirement 3 box, requirement 3 text amount, and requirement 3 name, like so. And then obviously that'll all run lovely. So that is now going to show up when we look at the BP player. This is going to run, that's going to do that. So we should have now so we'll need to clear it when we look away. So let's do that, and then we'll see if there's a problem somewhere. So in here, clear line traces. So you'll need to do that if it's valid. So that's why I changed this variable. So instead of running this 3 times, just run the user widget, which can do all 3 widgets, right? So that's why you don't want to be using the same shit. You don't want to use a different variable when you can use it for 3 different things. Okay, so and then of course setting it to none again. It's like, yeah, you know what I mean. You'd have to set this as well. So you do that. Okay, and this time we'll build a foundation just in case there was a problem with a wall there. Place it. So it looks like it's either going down or it's not populating. So let's see. On the hood it looked good. So I don't understand why it wouldn't look good. Let me see here. Where's it gone? Which one is it? This one. Yes, so it looks good. So I don't think that is the problem. I think the problem's in here. Build item. So it might not have craft info. It should have craft info, but let's check the building component. We are not plugging in craft info. That's why it's got none. So in the building component, we'll just do this one for the build. You'll need to do this for all of them. That's why I have these all in functions. So the beauty of a function is you will go to the point where it says place the actor, and instead of all this shit everywhere, you go one function, make one change, and it'll do it for everything. So this is why functions are key. So now, because I didn't do it in a function and I should have, I've got to go to this one, and it's now I've got to fucking click, 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 drag. So 5 clicks, and God knows how many times. Now I've got to go here, and connect up that as well. Get it and plug it in. And here, I've got to get it and plug it in. So functions are key. Just even if you just collapse that to a function and call it ask. So we've done it there. Ask to place or spawn the item. It is in a function. So we have done it in a function, but we've just not. That's a spawn temp reactor function. Left mouse button, yeah, so that should have been in a function there, but that's fine, it's done now. That's connected up. Yeah, I think we're good. We're good there. Okay, let's play. Build that one there, and then there. So as you can see now, it's saying Apple, and I'm nothing. Apple, Apple, Apple. Foundation. Apple watermelon. Apple watermelon. Alright, so it's just not disappearing off the screen. But I'm sure you can figure that out. But all we want to do now is interact and then add the items, which we've done most of the work for. Yes, access now. I'm trying to read the current build item. Yeah, so basically if you went to HUD, remove that. I think that's what the problem was, to be honest. Yeah, that's gone now. Build, foundation, click. Yeah, okay, so that's what was going on there. So we now just want to press interact on it, which is in the PC player. So if we come to interact, which is here. So let's we don't want to completely fuck that off, to be honest, because that's our inventory stuff. So BP player, so well what we'll do is we'll move that because we don't need that for a second. What we do need is a branch, and we need to say can add item from the BP player, and I don't think we did that, did we? Can't pick up item. Is it a structure? True, false? Yep. So let's do can open storage, and we'll rename this. Yep. Just put can add item. We'll come back to this because I haven't actually done it on my other project yet. So we'll go can add item. Put that to true. Come over to your PC player, get can add item. If this is true, you can get the current look at item, which is the same now, and call add items to build. Okay, and the inventory is the this inventory. Is that going to be it? That's going to run that. We've done all that code. Let's hit a play and test it. Don't think there's anything more to do. Where's interact? Open interact. Oh, I have actually done. I've got a macro for open the interactable item. And on here I've got add item. No, that looks like it's done. This is foundation. It's asking for 1 wood. You have no wood, no apples. Oh god. Let's hope I've got watermelons. Of course, that's now not removing itself. Have I not got any of it? Watermelons and medkits. Right, well, medkits. Hang on. I've got watermelons, right? So can I add a watermelon? Look away. Apples have none, so we haven't connected that up. Current look at pickup item is not valid. Yes, okay then, we'll come back to you. So, add items is where we need to be anyway. Okay, so let's see if this is equal to none, which it is false. You have none, but you should still go to check requirement true. If requirement true is false, is it finished? No. Search for it. Oh, look, there's a fuck up. So this needs to be requirement 3 amount. Sorry, requirement 2 amount. Like that. Look, there's a fuck up. There's a fuck up. Craft item info. Yes. Okay, let's see. Add item. So the way I've done that is, so we need this filled in. So I have pulled off of the inventory, local inventory, right? I have got array of slots. I've used a get node, and I've got from the index found by name, and I've pumped that information into there. That's how I've done it. Okay, so you want to do that for here as well. Pump that information in. The slot index is from here, and you'll need to do that again here. So that information has come from there, and that information has come from there. Hit compile, save. Dismiss them errors. Let's see what we've got now. Build, foundation, and we'll need to sort that. So you have no watermelons and you've got no apples. Okay, right, let's get a watermelon. That's a med kit. That's a watermelon. That's a watermelon. These are apples, I think, but they've been changed to something else. So let's see. Okay, but did that update? So I have added the apple. It knows I have, but visually it's not updating there, which I thought that would every frame. So let's see what I have done. So BP player, craft item info, event construct. I have got an update there, but I'm not using it. I'm using event begin play. Yep, I've done exactly the same. I've done exactly the same here. So if that is equal to none, sorry, my back is killing. I don't mean to kick back and relax. Current build item. Was we getting an error? No. So current build item is equals to none. If that's false, set that and set that, which it is doing. Name, the text block amount is set to the current build item. Required amount, I have amount required. Amount required is here. This amount, so this here is not running like it should. Which is coming from that target, which is fine. This is good, yeah. Current look at Can I item? Oh, it's definitely working. Remove from parent, spawn it again. Okay, what we're going to do is we will put a apple and right, well, let's spawn up here a bit more. Blueprints, BP master, details, apple. Pineapple or watermelon, hit play. I have got that error there, so it could just be something to do with this. So okay, so it's showing. Hit E. Worked perfectly fine now. So now it's full. I know it's not apple, but you've got to hit it again. And build should have been called. So is build getting called? So let's see in the BP master thing. If that's yes, so let's just unconnect this and just do 1 and 2 just to make sure we're not fucking ourselves up here, and build a foundation. Yeah, so now that is working fine. It was just the fact that I haven't finished all the requirements, the 3s, the 4s and the 5s. But yep, there you go. That is definitely working now. And it should be working for custom. They need a random Z rotation. I feel like the line traces is hitting the collision box, not the structure. Yeah, that's what's going on there. Is I'm hitting a collision box. Well, I'm not there. I have non-apples. No, I'm not hitting a collision box there. And there's a bit of a collision problems, but I'm sure there's something in there. Alright, but I'm sure you've got the idea of how I'm doing everything anyway. So I've got an error here asking if this is compatible. So yes, obviously having is valid. Check to see if that is still valid when you interact. I think there's something fishy going on in here, as if I'm only hitting this and not this. See, that is to block all dynamic. So by default, I mean, you shouldn't have to do any of this because yeah, I didn't actually get to all the collision, did I? Overlap all dynamic, yeah, something like that. Let's see here. Not that. See, that didn't actually get rid of it either. And it's got no info. Yeah, so it's obviously full of fucking bugs in it, really. But I feel like it's hitting the collision box and not the actual. You've set no requirements for the build item. Yes. So that snapping one will also need to be fucked on with. So if snap is true, we have set that. Or is it in this one here, isn't it? So you'll need to connect that into there. But like I said, if this was the one function that did all of it, then you'd only have to do it once. But yes, that's all good. I think I'm going to have to call the video there. I've got some stuff to do. So, this is probably overall a 2-hour video. I don't know whether I put the whole thing on or not. Might cut it at 40 minutes, something like that. Can't remember. But anyway, I hope you've learned something and liked the video so far. You are near enough up to date. Like I said, you can get the full package that I work on properly on my Patreon at tier 2. This is near enough up to date. It is a template. We're not building a game, remember. This is to try and teach you and show you how to do stuff. But I hope you've enjoyed series 3. Done. Pretty much. You get the idea. You get how it snapped. All good. So, like, subscribe, do all the rest. Don't miss out. We're going to do AIs next. So, that's going to be, like, looking good. And thanks for watching. Cheers. I'll see you later.